Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we are going to discuss about another very important example of Angular services where we will create one real world related scenario to understand how to share a service between multiple components. Because we all know that services are something that can be shared multiple components, right? So in this session, we are going to talk about only that. We will discuss everything from scratch to advanced. I'll explain you each and every line of the code and we will build everything from the start itself. Okay, so don't worry about the basics or the advanced thing, like we will go step by step. But before we proceed further with the session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released session to go through the all sequential content, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for time being we are just mainly focusing on how to use Angular services with multiple components. Okay, all right, so let's get started. And just one thing, like for sequential thing, like what you can do, you can simply refer the Tech Sharmit digital course book, which is freely available for everyone in the description. So you can simply follow, just click on that link and it will give you the all information. Okay, all right, so let's move ahead. And here you can see in app.component.html5 we have one heading that shows Angular 19 course by Tech Sharmit. Let's put the second heading, which will tell us the topic name. So let me put it h2. So sharing services in multiple Angular component. So this is our main agenda, that we are going to build something that is called service, and that service we will share across multiple components. Okay, all right. So with this, one thing is sure, that we need one service and we also need one component, because we have only one component that comes by default, that is the app component. So now we will create firstly the service. But before that, let's understand the requirement. So requirement is that, suppose just assume a scenario, there is a powerhouse in your area, and from that powerhouse all houses are supplied with the required power, electricity power. Okay, so usually what government do, like it is not allowed that everyone create their own powerhouse in their houses, right? Otherwise it is very costly and very risky also, right? So what government do, like they create one powerhouse, and from that one powerhouse the electricity is shared among multiple houses. So this is also a similar kind of service thing, that in service we will put that logic which can be shared between multiple components. Okay, so I hope you can relate this thing with powerhouse example. Same thing you can relate with the water supply example. Suppose there is a water tank in your city, and from that tank like water is supplied across multiple houses. Okay, so this kind of scenario we will generate, and for that let's create the powerhouse service, which will hold the logic that we want to share with multiple components. So to create the service, just write the command ng, where ng is Angular, g generate, s is service, and then we will give the name of service as, let's give it in a folder. So here I will write my service. Okay, service, then slash, and then we will put the name of the service, for example powerhouse. If you want to skip test file, that is up to you, but for now I'm just creating it directly. Okay, so you can see it created one my service folder with two files, spec.ts and service.ts. Now in this file, what I want to do, you can see it is with injectable. That means this is a service which we want to create, right? We created the service itself. Now to use this, what we will do, like it can be used across the city. Root means in all of your area. Root means entire area. Okay, so in a simple way you can say root means entire application. Now instead of constructor, what I'll do, I'll create one power here, power, which will hold one message that power is coming from the power or something like that. Okay, so let's give it a proper heading, or not heading, actually the verbiage that will help us to understand, okay, this is something that we are getting from the service. Okay, so for that you can simply write here power from the city, electricity, or you can simply write power from the powerhouse. Okay, so this is the message which we will see whenever we are using this service. That's it. So in service you just need to do this thing. Now to use it in a app.component.ts, what you will need to do, you can simply, like, this part is done. Now let's go to app.component.ts. Here we will add this service. Now to add this service you have to simply write few lines of code that will help you to declare it. So here in constructor I will define it. So constructor, then public, then we will give it as the name electricity, okay, then colon, and here we will mention that powerhouse. So powerhouse service, perfect. And then you can use this double curly braces, because this is some single curly braces, because this is something that completes the constructor. Perfect. So this is the thing, and you can see it automatically added this line. That means service is added. Perfect. Now what we will do, we will simply use this service in a app.component.html file. So here what I'll do, I'll put one heading h3 where I will write house 1. Okay, so this is our house 1, and after this house 1 we will use one paragraph which will use that service. So what we will do here, we will simply write here electricity dot power. Perfect. Now you can save it and let's run the application. So ng serve -- open, enter. Once you wait here, it will show you the output on the browser screen, which is now available. So you can see Angular 19 course by Tech Sharmit is the main heading. Then we have title, that is sharing services in multiple Angular components. Then we have house 1, and power from the city powerhouse is also populated. That means this app component can access the logic written inside a service. Okay, this part we have written inside a service, right? Perfect. Now our main agenda is to share it multiple components. So for that, let's create the component. So here I will write the command ng, which is Angular, g generate, and c is for component, and the component name, let's say house 2, and press enter. So once you press enter, you can see it automatically created this folder with all the required files for the component, that is css, html, spec.ts, and component.ts. Okay, now here also we will use the same service. So the logic is very simple. You just need to write here again the constructor. In constructor we will define public, and then electricity, okay, then colon, and then we will write here powerhouse service. So once you press enter, it automatically added this line here, and after that you can use this double curly braces. Always make sure that whenever you are defining powerhouse service, although when you write it here it will automatically add it here, but if you are doing it manually, make sure to use double dots here. Why? Because first dot is representing only this folder, this which is house 2, but double dot is taking this directory to the parent folder, that is app folder, and service is available in app folder, right? So just make sure that you are using it double here. But in case of app component, we just look for the main folder because it is available in that folder, no? That's why. Okay, so this thing is done. Now we will go to house2.component.html. let's clear it up and write here h2 with house2 title. Okay, and then we will add one p tag, that is for paragraph, and in this paragraph we will write single curly braces, double curly braces, and here we will write electricity dot power. That's it. Now you can save it and let's run the application again. So ng serve -- open, enter. Once you press enter, it will take few seconds, and then you can see. Okay, so here we can see the first part is coming but not the second one. Why? Because we have not added this component in app.component.html, right? So let's go to app.component.html. Here you can simply add this component, that is house 2. So app house 2 as a tag. Okay, and then you can save it and refresh it. So now you can see we have house 2 which is also accessing the service content, that is power from the city powerhouse. And here I think you can see we used h2 instead of make it h3, although it won't affect anything, but we just want to show both the things equally. So you can see it is working perfectly. So in this session what we did, like we try to understand the concept of services, or concept of sharing the services with multiple component, with one electricity board example where we correlated the things with powerhouse. A powerhouse, you can relate powerhouse with a service that holds the common logic that we want to share across multiple houses, and that multiple houses is representing the component. So I hope this session is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.